Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys which perks out of the 8 perks, I'm pretty sure, or powers, you should buy. So there are 8 of them, like I just said: Ninja, Sleight, Sprint, Trap, Fake Gun, Haste, Ghost, and X-Ray. So first off, I'm going to be going over the prices of all of them. Ninja cost 1,000 coins, Sleight also cost 1,000 coins, Sprint cost 3,000, Trap cost 3,000, Fake Gun cost 3,000, Haste also cost 3,000, Ghost cost 6,000, and X-Ray cost 6,000. And now I'm going to be showing you guys what they do. So Ninja, your knife becomes silent. What this means is that every time you kill someone, the kill sound doesn't actually come up. If you do use like the flaming knife effect, you will be able to hear a bit of that effect, so I would recommend not using that if you do use that perk. So basically this knife just becomes silent, and it can actually be really OP if like someone's just all the way on the other side of the map compared to everybody else. What would I recommend of this power? If you're a newcomer to the game, I would definitely recommend buying this. This and Sleight are actually the ones that I use the most, even though I have all of them. And this one is actually really OP, and yeah, I would recommend it. And once you just get better at killing people, you don't need to use it, but it's just for beginners, I would say. Next on, we got Sleight. So Sleight throws the knives quicker, which you're probably thinking is basically useless, but let me tell you, it's actually not. When I play a game and someone's using Sleight and they're the murderer and I'm being chased, I normally think that I can time the jumps well, so I'll be able to jump over every single knife they throw, and I'll be able to dodge it. But when they're using Sleight, and I don't know, they can actually throw the knife quicker than I expect, and it will get me. For example, let's say my friend was right here, and he was throwing a knife, and I was here. I would know when to jump and dodge the knife. But if he was throwing it quicker, his knife would throw like maybe a second or half a second quicker, and that would fully on stuff me up. It is also very good for wall camping. For example, if you're wall camping and the sheriff comes, you can easily just throw the knife very quickly and they won't realize. This power I would definitely recommend, and I'd probably recommend this over Ninja when you start. I feel like throwing knives it's kind of something that's not easy to master. Like stabbing, like Ninja, it's easy to master, but throwing knives is a bit harder, and I would recommend using this. Next up, we got Sprint. Sprint gives you a 50% speed boost every 30 seconds. This power is useless, and I'm telling you, useless. Every 30 seconds, you get a speed boost for only 3 seconds. So it's really bad unless like you're just fully on chasing someone. If you're good at throwing knives, I would definitely not recommend this. Basically, what this does is you become really fast, but only for 3 seconds, and the sheriff can like still shoot you and stuff. So even when you're chasing them, you have to be careful and jump, and you might get stuck in areas due to your like incredible speed, and you have to wait 30 seconds. So you got to keep like jumping and trying to dodge the sheriff, and then wait another 30 seconds just to use it for 3 seconds. If you have 3,000 coins, do not buy this perk. This perk is absolutely useless, and any other of the 3,000 coins are better than this. Okay, next up, we got the trap perk. This perk places an invisible trap that will stop Innocence, and you have only 3 traps. This perk is better than Sprint in my opinion. You place traps that the Innocents can't see, and you could do something really OP like placing a trap like right in front of the gun spot, so that you can just stab them as soon as they're about to get the gun. The only thing is, if they do get the gun, they can still shoot you, so just make sure that you like throw a knife, or you be very careful. This perk is not really good. I wouldn't recommend it. This perk I would say is more of a camping perk. You just camp the gun and just it doesn't help you when you're just trying to chase someone down. Like let's say no one has the gun and you're just trying to chase someone down and throw knives at them on like the house or mansion map. It's not a good perk, and it doesn't really help you in that way. I would not recommend buying this perk. If you have 3,000 coins, I would recommend spending it on something else other than Sprint or Trap. The next perk we got is Fake Gun. Trick Innocence by making your knife look like a gun temporarily. I'm pretty sure what this perk does is for 5 seconds, it turns your knife into a gun. But after those 5 seconds, your gun just turns back into a knife. The only thing I would say about this perk is you should not be doing this. You should not be using it because what if you use it in front of the sheriff? Literally everybody knows about this perk now and they'll just instantly shoot you and it'll be such a horrible way to die as murderer. This perk is probably even worse than Trap and Sprint because it basically doesn't have any benefits to it. People might know that you're the murderer straight away if they know who the sheriff is. And you can't actually shoot a bullet with it, and you can't do anything while the gun is in your hand, so people might be suspicious of you straight away. And after 5 seconds, it turns back into a knife. This perk I would not recommend. Next up, we got Haste. Haste is the most loved one, I would say, out of every single perk. You move 10% faster while holding your knife out. This allows you to outrun Innocence. So what this perk does is, let's say you have your knife out and you're chasing someone, you'll easily be able to outrun them because you run 10% faster. If they run at a speed of 2, you'll be running at a speed of 2.2. It's really OP, and I would definitely recommend this for the only $3,000 perk. It's definitely by far the best one, and like there's no ifs and buts about that. And it's really good, but the reason I don't use it is because as an MM2 veteran, I'm mostly someone who just throws knives as kills because it's just much easier. You don't have to actually chase them. So I'm not someone who likes doing this. I just don't really think it's useful. And I'm just so used to Slight and how it throws, and I'm so used to timing it like absolutely perfectly that I don't really use this perk, but I do know that most YouTubers and most players do use it to outrun you. The thing is about this perk, a lot of people use it and just sprint jump with it, so that's basically all you do with this perk, and it's not the best for skill, I would say. Next up, we got Ghost. Go invisible for a few seconds. With this Ghost perk, you go invisible for 5 seconds every 30 seconds. This perk it's kind of good, but it's also kind of bad. Let's say you got someone who's sheriff and wall camping. This perk is actually really good because you can just go in Ghost and then go across the whole map. This perk is especially good for maps like Workplace when the sheriff is always camping, especially with the long hallways, or mansion or house. Thing is, you'll be able to know which wall they're at, and they won't know which wall you're at, so you will have that advantage, but it's just very short, and you can only use it every 30 seconds. This perk does have some really cool glitches, like if you use it when a round ends, you can go invisible for the next lobby and the next round, which is really cool. And if you take out the candy from 2020 Halloween, this one right here, and go in Ghost, it'll become like a chroma one, and it'll be so funny. So that is like one upside of the perk, but besides that, I wouldn't recommend it. Next up, we got the X-ray perk. The X-ray perk has its cons and I forgot the other word, but it has its yins and yangs, let's say. And the reason is, what it does is you see through walls for a few seconds. It's 5 seconds that you see through a wall, and you have a 30-second cooldown. This is good, but also bad. Sometimes, like, the sheriff is somewhere where you don't know. Let's say on the factory map, you don't know where they are, but they're actually in the sewer. You'll be able to see where they are in the sewer, but there's really no way that you can get there without them seeing you. It is really good for someone who's just hiding, but thing is, not many people hide anymore, so I would say it's not that good of a perk anymore, and it definitely got nerfed, I guess. It didn't really get nerfed by the mods or by Nicholas, but it just got nerfed by how people play the game. No one really hides anymore. Everyone just tries to get the gun and become the hero, and then everyone just complains when they die, and that's just how MM2 works nowadays. I would not recommend this perk if I'm being honest. Okay, so now which 3 perks would I recommend out of these 8? Ninja, Slight, and Haste. They are extremely cheap, which makes them even more better, and they're just extremely useful. If I had to recommend 2, I would say Slight and Haste. The reason is, Slight makes you throw your knife faster, and Haste makes you run faster. So they're basically about the same, but just one thing different. Ninja is good, but if everyone's in a pile together, it's not really good. Ninja can be extremely OP. Like, let's say that someone's just, like, running around, let's say someone's running around, like the sheriff, and trying to find, like, where the murderer is. sees a bunch of dead bodies, they're not going to know who the murderer is because there might be 2 people left, and they're going to have to take a 50-50 chance on shooting, and they could be wrong and they could be right. So Ninja can be extremely OP, but Sleight is always going to be OP, and same as Haste. Like, the thing about Haste is you have to keep your knife out the whole time. So I would recommend getting close to like 3 or 4 people, taking your knife out, and then just stabbing them all, and then you have a really good chance of winning. So those are the perks I would recommend in Murder Mystery 2. Tell me which perks in the comments that you actually use, and why would you recommend them. So yeah, those are my perks that I recommended, and I hope you guys will be able to afford them soon. They only cost 1,000, 1,000, and 3,000. So if you have 5,000, you can buy those 3 perks. And anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you get better at MM2 by using these perks. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down what you thought. Anyways, bye!